Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we are going to be looking at the first game in a 3-game ladder series between one of the best up-and-coming Protoss players in the world. And by up-and-coming, I mean this guy's 2700 MMR plus. It's one of those guys that could break in to ASL at any moment. It is Rich. And he is going to be going up against Flash. So yeah, they met 3 times on the ladder. We're going to be covering those games. Super modern. We are like, when you're watching these videos, they've played within a few days. And so, yeah, this is some cutting edge stuff. We're really watching Flash at this point, develop the metagame quite substantially. Like, I'm very excited about it. And, I feel like my brain is expanding watching the things that Flash is starting to do TVP and watching the other pros pick it up as well. It's all starting to come together now, right? Like, we've been looking at Flash games for over a month. And at this point, it's like, okay, yeah, he's starting to beat Snow, guys. It's happening. Oh, my God. Neo is fighting Neo. Okay, so, while we wait for this to pick up on Apocalypse, early game Apocalypse here, it looks like it's probably going to be a factory expansion for Flash. I do want to thank you guys again for tuning into ArtosisCasts. I hope that you've been enjoying all the content, some of the deeper dives at the end, in this very, very exciting time. I wonder if I can announce yet. Yeah, I guess so. Like, I'm just going to say it. We're going to be sponsoring, once again, the CNSL. CNSL is going to be coming back for another season after the ASL qualifiers are done. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. That was some of my favorite stuff to make. So that is actually going to be coming up relatively soon. I don't know the exact start date yet. It takes a long time for Caster Muse to set that stuff all up, but I hope you guys look forward to that. If you look forward to it half as much as me, like, I'm wiggly about it right now. I'm very excited to get into that. So I really want to thank everyone who has watched, who has subscribed to the channel, who has subscribed to the Patreon at patreon.com/Artosis. Because of you guys, we can do things like support the CNSL. So thank you very much, guys. Very appreciated. Now let's kind of dive into this game, right? The probe comes down and actually... it comes in here and kind of harasses a little bit, and a Marine pushes it out. Now, one thing I want to mention, this was actually one of the most cathartic moments I've ever seen. The left side mineral patches are kind of hard to get mining really quickly. The right side patches are always better, and I actually think the up-down patches are amazing as well, that you only get on 12 o'clock on 3-player maps. But that was kind of a late factory for a player of Flash's level, 237. That's like basically the latest factory that you ever get with a factory expansion. So just kind of a little side thing that I saw as he put it down. I'm like, oh, wow, I feel bad when I get it that slow, but I get it that slow a few times a day. Anyways, look at this. There's a Zealot and a Probe waiting here, and a Dragoon coming down. So he's held these units back. He's going to hit with them all at the same time. There's going to be 2 Marines already in the bunker, and he's going to run by. There's no question. Of course you're going to run by in this situation. And he actually loses the probe on the way. He's going to have to micro pretty damn heavily. Ooh, he's taking a lot of extra hits here. I don't think he can save this. And you can see actually everything falling apart for Flash right now. Very, very painful indeed. He's trying to keep this alive. That was actually really sweet. He ran the Vulture through and gets it repaired. I'm very surprised. I actually thought that the Goon was going to destroy that. Now, he runs out, even though a second Goon comes. Kind of surprising on that. Like, I thought he was going to commit a little bit heavier, but I guess, Flash's micro is good enough that he decides, let's not waste these Goons. But a pretty good mix-up there in the early game from Rich. He does slow things down for Flash. So let's take a look where we're at. Okay, so we got that like maybe 20% done, and we got this finishing. So that's already a pretty big advantage for Rich, right? So if it takes 75 seconds, he's gonna get four-ish probes ahead, right? 4 times 13, yeah, 52 seconds. Yeah, that's about right. So he should be about 4 probes ahead if they're both hitting all their workers perfectly. So that's a little bit of a pain in the butt. That is something that can happen when a run by occurs like that. Everything gets slowed. You're not making your command center the whole time, and things go back. Now, this is standard Rich. This is a really common play for him, and if you have like a really truly excellent memory of the games that I cast, because I cast Rich from time to time, and I always talk about this. He is a 3-gate observer user. Not many people use this as kind of an antiquated build. Most people go 2-gate observer, but 3-gate observer like super crushes like 2-fact pressure, right? 2-gate observer is like, it's pretty even. Maybe someone out micros the other player and gets an advantage there, but it's like, it's pretty even overall. I don't like to do the 2-fact pressure because I feel like, I'm not really going to get anywhere with that. But yeah, this is something that he likes to do quite a bit. And that does give him a few more maybe aggressive options and an easier hold against things. Now, this is a 2-factory. And look at this. He's going into speed. So this is actually something that we did see him do against, I believe it was against Snow that we saw this. So this is like part of the new meta as well, okay? If you can't get in and see the Robo, because I've talked a lot about the Wraith meta, if you see the Robo, you can absolutely go for the Starport. If you don't see the Robo, you can't go for the Starport because you need actual detection, right? So you can see he's throwing down some missile turrets, really, really well-placed missile turrets. He's got the 2 factories. He's got the speed upgrade for the vultures, a few vultures out. He's got good mines, kind of checking where everything is. He's going to poke here and see if there's a way in. There's absolutely not. Just takes a bit of damage on those vultures, not a huge deal. And of course, he's going to know that that 3rd base is being taken by Rich. So he pulls back and is producing 2 siege tanks at a time. So this is something that we saw as well. On the retro game, that was, I think, a few days ago against Snow, right? Like he opened with basically the same build as we're seeing here against Rich. Now the vultures run in again. They see, okay, they confirm the Nexus. Still some mines around. He's looking to see if there's any way to like catch some probes or whatever. There's really not. And with all these goons coming up, right, this is something I was talking about before. If you go 3-gate range, you do have a lot of goons, and he kind of walks up because he is playing against speed vultures. So I think he looks at this and says, yeah, maybe I can put some pressure on, but already 4 siege tanks. Because Flash, it looks like Flash has this mapped out to where he likes to go 4 speed vultures into double factory siege tank, and then he can start his siege a bit later. And look at that, going up to the 4 factory. Also, want to mention again that this does look somewhat similar. It's not exactly the same, but it looks a little bit similar to how Mihu plays. There's similarities to it, right? Like Mihu always uses the same style. It doesn't matter what the metagame is. Like when the metagame's upgrade Terran, he does this too. So it's like, sometimes people will look at that and be like, wow, he was a genius all along. And it's actually, this is a funny thing because I remember Noni said this to me a long time ago. It's like, if you do the same thing forever, eventually the metagame will line up and you look like a genius. He didn't say it exactly like that, but that's what he meant. But yeah, it's like, that's a thing, right? Like the metagame does shift around. So no matter what style you have, eventually it'll probably start working really, really well. He makes 2 academies. This is just a mistake. So a little flub there. Looking over at Rich's base. He's got 6 gates. He's going into the Reaver tech. So this is all really standard. We're really used to seeing Reaver 6-gate on 3 base. And this 4 factory play, this is so funny. He's going to 2 academies at the same time right next to it. He'll catch it. He'll probably catch it because he's going to go down to make more depots. But yeah, sitting on the 4 factories, this really, really does kind of remind me of the way Mihu plays. He comes up and starts to get some damage immediately onto the Reaver, which is exactly how you want to play this. Even with those vultures, you want to just take the shields off immediately so that you're punishing as quickly as possible onto that Reaver health. Repairs that turret up, lays a couple mines on the fringes, going to throw a turret down. Really good defense here from Flash. And honestly, there's 0% chance for him to attack. So he does throw down this 3rd Nexus. I love this. I love what we're seeing here. He did catch that, by the way. I'm actually getting some chills right now. I know you guys like to make fun of that a little bit in the comments. But like this play from Flash is so solid. We're really looking at incredibly solid play, right? Like the fact that he's gone 4 factory, right? A lot of people go 5 factory, right? That's been the metagame. But 5 factory isn't really working out anymore. This is something that Scan, because I actually have been going 2 factory mines speed for a long time. It's actually like an older build. It's because I like vulture speed in general. And actually one of the things Scan was helping me with, he was telling me that I should actually go 4 factory quickly to quickly get a 3rd base. So to see Flash kind of go down this road where he's able to start, like this was like 9:30, right? In some of the, well, hold on, we actually have some bombing in from Rich right now, and he turns the one shuttle with the Reavers around so that he has time to kill the turret. This was actually very, very good. See, so he clears everything over here, and now he brings in the Reavers, and he's going to get that kill. Really well done by Rich. Really well done. These vultures from Flash still rotating around. Okay, so, man, there is so much going on this game. This is like super, super active from Flash, and he does have that 3rd base up. Still continuing to macro. He has the double armory. He's getting the science facility right now. His factory placement, a little bit... it's a little bit hard to get the movement through here. Leaving a lot of units in the back. Has a very good turtled front as well. Some missile turrets spread around. Getting those scanners. But yeah, anyways, the build looks very, very good, right? So what I was talking about before is like everyone's really good at stopping 5 fact. It's like you get a pretty quick 3rd and you have enough units. You know, the speed reavers plus going into, you know, the... Oh, wow, he's going to let that finish? Oh, okay. There you go. That was really good. It's just like basically Terrans are getting a little bit behind by going 5 fact now. So to see Flash kind of active on the map with the vultures and go into a 4 fact with a quicker expand where he was before with the upgrade Terran, right? It's that 7-minute command center, and it just wasn't working out. And then he did something kind of in between for a bit, which was more interesting, right? And now like a 9:30 command center, that sounds very good because the 5 factory plays generally you're not mining until about 12 minutes, right? So if you make a 9:30 command center, you're mining like maybe at 11:30, right? 11:15 maybe if you're really on top of things. So he's getting it up quicker. He's getting his mining going quicker. And he can do that factory explosion. He can get the double armory going. He's got some very good defense at home. He's monitoring what's happening on the map. He's still trying to rotate vultures. And he's getting a little bit of vulture rotation down. It's okay to lose a few vultures here and there, but you can see he's keeping his supply relatively close. 140, once you hit 140 and you're set up well, Protoss can't really break you. Okay? Like that's really the number that can stop if you're well sieged, you have turrets, you have mines, you're spread. 140 will stop a maxed attack. It'll be close, but you won't die, right? So Flash has kind of hit these really important moments in the game. He has his upgrades going, everything looking very good, putting more and more missile turrets down because he knows that that's actually kind of more of a danger than anything else is the shuttle backstab right now. Now we have High Templars in here as well. I actually want to kind of take a look at, is Rich just going to stay on mostly gateway tech? We don't see any sort of starport yet, right? Or Stargate, rather. So it looks like he just wants to go for that double robo play. Yeah, there they are, the double robos. So it's going to be heavy Psystorm and everything. This is going to be very much engagement-based. In fact, he's getting Scarab damage right now, Kadarin, Amulet, so some very good upgrades. Flash, in the meantime, continuing towards his 2-1. He's now getting Goliath range. He's got 3 add-ons so that he can really mass-produce siege tanks. He does hit a supply block here. So even the god of StarCraft going to get supply blocked while trying to play TVP. But yeah, looking very, very good. And the thing about Rich here is he needs to make sure he does not waste his army. This is a grinding army. This is an engagement-based army, right? Like, you want to slow Terran down. If they're attacking too quick, you punish the clump tanks. If they're attacking really slow, you continue to build your economy. Occasionally, this type of play, if they go too slow and you can't get good engages, you have to identify that and think about switching into that Stargate tech, right? Whether that's carrier or you want to try to hit recalls or something like that. I think the carrier switch can be strong, but like if Flash detects that, he's going to go hard. Now look at this. Flash is sieging up on a lot of mines. This is a dangerous moment. We don't actually have a lot of shuttles up here, so I don't think we're going to see much of a punish. This is just a shuttle with High Templars in it. Ooh, very good Psy Storm there on those Vultures. But yeah, this is really about grinding Flash down, about slowing him down. 4th Command Center floating over. Flash has decided it is time to take a 4th. This is how we see Apocalypse go a lot of the time. Now, here comes Rich. He has to be really careful here about losing too much. Now, those are some very good storms. Notice he's engaging him right here. He needs to pull back. He needs to pull back. You don't waste like 10 extra goons. Good storms overall. The supply of both players plummets. Now, Flash's stays a little bit higher. It was cost inefficient for Rich, for sure, but sometimes you need to take engages like that. If you take a look at the minimap, in fact, we'll just jump around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases with the 7th on the way, right? And he's playing against 3 bases. So at this point, you actually do have to take some trades that are cost inefficient. Like, this is 2 players playing this position very, like, perfect is like a little bit too much of a word, but very close to perfectly, right? Like, they're actually both doing basically exactly what they should do. Rich has a million bases. You know, he's trying to punish when he sees any clumps. Flash kind of taking it slow. If he attacks too quickly, that's how you lose this type of game. But if you attack too slowly, that's another way to lose. You have to kind of go at the right pace here. One thing I'm going to know, okay, there's the Goliath, because he's like very low on Goliath here, and you definitely need some anti-air. Nice little dive in here onto this 4th base. He's just trying to slow this down. Rich doesn't think he's going to kill this base or anything, but he is trying to keep pressure on it. The Reaver's doing a good job. The High Templar's doing a good job. He actually brings his army down here. I don't think that's going to be able to make any difference. Yeah, he's going to back that up now. We have a lot of gateways added over on this base. So many cannons as well. Rich macroing very nicely. Very big bank. Almost maxed out again here. Flash still on about 60 SCVs, which is still about good for this. Like, he might make a few more. You know, you generally want mid-60s. But he's going to start running out of bases too, right? These 2 bases are almost gone. Now, here comes Rich. This is a very small choke, so a little bit hard to attack into. Dives in with a couple shuttles. Gets some good Psy Storms going. Nice D-Matrix there from Flash. Brings in a lot of C-Chinks. Yeah, Rich has to pull back from here. It looks like Flash should be able to kill this. So is there another place that Rich could punish while Flash kills this base? Because this base is going to go down. This was a very good attack. So if you see, he's got like this area very well defended, which kind of covers this path to the 4th and the general path up into Flash's area. So he very quickly moves units here to eliminate this. So by eliminating this is a big moment, because this is most likely the only other base that Flash will be able to get on this map. Now, Rich is trying to counterattack into this 4th base. I don't know if this is going to be able to end up working. There's a lot of units in this general area. Vultures come up and start cleaning. He has 2/2 upgrades, so that's going to do really well here. You know, Terran upgrades just scale so well against Protoss. And he will even clear those. Ooh, actually some pretty good Scarabs considering. But again, this is going to be a little bit more efficient here for Flash. Single DT mixed in there as well. This base has been picked off. What a crazy game that we're having right now. And he still hasn't scanned for this DT. There's just so much going on right now. Rich's DT is actually killing. Like, he's killed 3 siege tanks so far, and there's a 4th. So that's, like, really efficient. Very nice. But yeah, Flash is just about down to 2 mining bases. So he's going to have to think about what he wants to do here, right? And it looks like his choice is actually to bring his whole army up into this area. So Rich is clearing out this area, and he's going to re-expand. He actually saved his probes there. Kind of a good move. But Flash is taking this opportunity to attack the right side of the map. This base isn't up. Very easy to stop. He's splitting some tanks up to 12. So, yeah, it looks like he's going to try to kill that. He does have a couple mines in there as well. And now bringing part of his forces back, right? So he brought the whole army, split it to kill this Nexus and maybe this Nexus. And now bringing some back so he can't be counterattacked. But that's going to allow Rich to clear these out. I think he's going to be able to clear this and save this Nexus. And Flash actually comes back. Oh, okay, so he came back to make sure he didn't die, and as he sees his 2 attacks attacked, he reinforces one of them. This one, there's not any options. You can't get up here in time. This was maybe like Flash forcing hard decisions from Rich, but he comes back down here. So he is going to secure the kill on this Nexus. So he killed this Nexus. He's going to kill this Nexus. This Nexus can't be mined from right now. And, you know, this is low enough that maybe he can get it later. We'll see. There is a Stargate up, by the way. This is probably for Arbiter Tech. I don't think Rich can go into carriers or anything. Double EMPs on the actual Dragoons here to make sure that they're going to die even quicker. Kind of interesting to see him utilize that over Defense Matrix, or maybe waiting for juicier targets, such as the High Templar. That's kind of interesting. I feel like I don't see too many pros choose EMPs on like Dragoons that are walking towards tanks. Now, in comes a couple of shuttles towards the space. Ooh, that really... He gets one storm off and he does okay, but really doesn't do as well as I think he was looking for. That was a pretty big investment that did not pay off there. Flash really on top of his army movement. Like, he's reinforcing these positions well. And part of the reason he can do that, look at these mines, look at these mines, look at this turret, right? So he knows that the army isn't somewhere like this. Like, if Rich's army is here and he's moving a big chunk down to defend his fourth, that's where you can lose the game. But he's got good mine coverage, so he has a very decent idea of where things are at. By the way, Rich coming up with some DTs. Those worked before. We'll see if those are able to actually clear a bunch of siege tanks over here, because there's actually, you know, you get your and he does notice you get your forces are under attack thing, right? That comes up, and if you're attacked in two locations, you don't know that that's occurring. Now there is the mini map actually blinks in a certain way, like there's like boxes that go into where you're being attacked. So if you have super good mini map awareness, you're going to realize that you're attacked elsewhere as well, and you can see Flash has that here, of course, being the greatest player ever. Now some cannons going up here for Rich. He has a huge bank still. Flash is still maxed out, but like he needs to make some progress, whether that's taking one more base or maybe killing a couple more bases. Oh, a Corsair. Okay, my bad. I thought he was actually going for maybe Arbiter Tech with this, and maybe he will at some point, but the Corsair is actually, that's just to tank turret shots. It has higher attack priority than shuttles. So this is actually, it can be a very useful way. People were actually doing this for a while, and then it went out of style, and this is just super late game, and Rich has a ton of money, so he can do it. So that's going to tank as he goes through turrets. We'll try to catch that. But a big attack into Flash's general area. Look at the mass science vessel. He is doing a great job with defense matrices so far this game. Where'd those go? Okay, so what he'll do here is the Corsair will lead, and it will suck up all the turret shots, and then he'll be able to unload his full cargo on this base. So here we go. He's going for that move right now. And you'll notice that, yeah, the turret's going to continue to hit that. Obviously, as it gets out of range, the turrets will hit other ones, but it allows him to basically get everything out here. So pretty good sacrifice for that single Corsair. Flash has cleared this base. He's going to clear this base. He's cleared this base. What a crazy game. But right now with this this base being lifted, Flash is only mining here, and these patches are almost gone, right? Like each of these patches represents one more siege tank. So that's really, really, really low economy from Flash. Wow. This game is crazy. So right now, this base is super important for Rich, and this base is super important for Rich. Flash trying to float a command center over here. He wants to expand, I guess, but that is not going to happen. With all these gates here, that just does not look realistic. He is going to re-attack here. I think this is... The thing is... Well, this is pretty defendable, like this little ramp. So if he sets up well, this base could be defendable. And obviously, like, this general area is going to defend this base pretty well. But, like, those are spread very far apart, right? This is where it gets hard for Terran. Where if you don't have some sort of tempo advantage, expanding far away becomes really, really hard. That's kind of how you generally expand far away, is like you have your kind of core of 4-ish bases and you're kind of super active pushing places on the map, and that allows you to expand to places where you're going to have much lighter defense. Whereas when your Protoss kind of has full map control, it's really hard to do those spreads. So you see right now, Rich attacking down with his full army. He's finally clearing this general area, which is going to do very well for him. 3-2 upgrades for Flash. We'll see if that's going to be enough. Some EMPs are going to go down. Probably has a defense matrix as well if he wants it. Sieges up a little bit. Wow, some mines hitting these zealots. This side being absolutely dominated, but Rich actually crushing through the few remaining tanks on the right. Still some tanks down there. If he tries to shove with those goons, that's not going to work out for him. Flash sieging up. The storms do help him to clean that, but the tanks are going to have to run out. I mean, the Dragoons are going to have to run out. This base has been cleared. Rich retaking Nexus, retaking Nexus, retaking Nexus. Man, this base is gone. So this is Flash's economy here. Very low, very weak. I don't think he can win this game anymore. I think Rich has done it. This has been an excellent back and forth game. And I think, again, I feel like they both played this excellently. It is a slightly Protoss favored map. And like, this is actually the game that you've watched here is how games are supposed to actually look on this map. Like, these are the best games I've seen on this map generally look at like this, where it's like Terran on 4 base trying to win the game, trying to take control and kill all the bases on a side. And you can see that, like, he was doing a pretty good job, never could make it down to this base in the bottom right, but Rich instantly is remaking these Nexuses. So this push coming out from Flash, like, he can't remake this army at all. You need 2 full mining bases with mech late game with these 3-2 upgrades, and he does not have that. So he needs to eliminate this army and get this push up here. This is really his last chance to get something happening. You can see he's lifted this command center, he's floating it up. He needs to take another base no matter what. So right now, trying to utilize some of these spells for more cost efficiency. An attack down here. Okay, these High Templars are actually a problem. He cannot let those get to the SCVs, seriously. He's just right-clicking on the command center. Yeah, and Flash lifts. You definitely need to lift to get the Zealot damage away, but also you get better repair surface area. High Templar in here, he's going to need to clear. So this is... Ooh, that's a lot, man. Flash is down to literally 0 minerals, and his command center's burning. So I think we're at the end. GG is called. Rich going to take down this game. Really an excellent game from Rich. An excellent game from Rich. Like, I'm not a big fan of Rich's Protoss. I've played him on the ladder a few too many times, but like, that was superbly played. The timing with which he took the expansions, the way he took the battles, the grinding, the fact, like, we see a lot of Protosses that will, you know, they'll be maxed with that many bases and they'll just like attack. They'll be like, I'm going to try to kill him now. And it's like, that's not how you play this map. That's not how you play this position, right? With this type of army. You grind things down, you go back and forth, you rotate around. He kept Flash on 4 bases for long enough that he was able to dry him out. Excellent game. Really looking forward to the next 2. Hope you guys are as well. Thanks for watching.